I'm recording. I still look at the answer choices first because it's habit. On the ACT, it's not grouped like this. Like, we know all of this is wordiness and redundancy, but on the ACT, it's all mixed in, so we don't know. And so habit is I always look at the answer choices first. So I'm looking at that and going, I got to read the sentence. My friend Ellen is typical of many more potters. Well, many and more, it's the same thing. I got to cut that out. And so that's going to be no change. Of many, that works, mostly of. That's very pretentious. It doesn't really talk about being many. For most, that doesn't really flow, so it's going to be B. Over many weeks, as time goes by, I'm done. Because many weeks, time goes by is the same thing, and I'm going to omit. Omit means to delete from the sentence. The ACT experts, and I don't think I got that part recorded, but he said that kids are afraid of the omit, and they don't choose it. It is actually right 50% of the time, which means don't just throw it out because you see omit. When you look at it, go, should that come out because it's the same thing? If so, hit omit. So as soon as I read those first few words, I said, as time goes by, it's the same thing. I stopped, went down, found omit, and circled it. Okay? So I'm looking at number 3, answer choice. I'm going to cross that one out. It's too long. Now this one, I'm going to, and only because I've gone over this answer before that I know this. But I would have crossed out no change just because the underlined portion is really long. But there's actually another reason too. At last, oh, that's the previous sentence. She then carries the assortment outside to the wood-fired kiln, comma. It is a brick structure design. That's a positive. Can't have it. Okay. So I'm going to look down, and that leaves me with a brick structure or brick. And I had someone in Pat ask me this question. What she did is she came through and she followed that strategy that I was telling you about, where it's the shortest answer. And so what she did is, because she never gets done, like never. On the 45 minutes, and she worked hard, she was on number 10. Okay. She wants the right answer every time. And so we're working on speeding it up. So she told me, she said, Ms. Smith, I did what you said. I looked at the shortest answer, and I chose D. And I said, that's true. And for you, that's a good strategy, because in 45 minutes, you're only getting to number 10. I said, this way, this way, you're going to get towards the end, and you're going to get more right. I said, 70% of the time, it's the shortest answer. So applying that strategy to every question, you are aware that 3 out of 10 times you'll get it wrong, right? So that's where you have to determine, like for her, it's still a great strategy. She's going to do better because what she gets to, she gets right, okay? But you have to determine, okay, is that a good strategy for me, okay? 10 questions where the shortest answer works. 7 out of those 10 times, it's the correct answer. So for this one, if you read it, she carries the assortment outside to the wood fire kiln, brick structure. Obviously, that doesn't make sense, right? But she didn't actually read the question. She was working on time. But so you would cross that one out. You have to have a brick structure there. Okay? So just please remember that it is a very good strategy if you struggle on time, but it only works 7 out of 10 times. And there will be a couple times you'll miss it because of that. All right, next one, kept and deleted. Okay, so the writer is considering deleted the phrase glazes to glorious colors. Glorious colors, that's way too much. I know automatically I'm going to choose C or D. Okay, so is it deleted because the appearance is not important to the essay's focus, or deleted because it's not consistent? Well, at this point, depending on your strategies that you're doing, if you know that you can probably get done with the test, go through and read it. If you're like, I'm not going to get done, I've got to work on time, this is a lot of reading, then essays focus or description, I would have chosen C just because essays focus on the ACT, that tends to be what their questions deal with. Okay. Number 5, the chamber is not big enough to crouch in as she carefully arranges 2 words. Nope, 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 A. Okay. The shortest answer works on this one. Stoops to carefully arrange, bends over to arrange with care, carefully stoops. I mean, that is so wordy. We don't need that, okay? She just carefully arranges it. 6, 2 words, knocking those out. Yes, B is 3 words, but it's kind of close, so I am going to read those 2. Having died down, finally it dies. I'm going to need the rest of the sentence for this. She picks up the brick firebox as well, sealing the remaining heat inside. Well, if I do finally it dies, this part doesn't really flow, okay? The end of the sentence. So I'm going to choose no change, A. All right, looking at my choices, omits there. So in my mind, I'm looking for, do I need to take it out? Last week, he had told me he went on a business trip in connection with his work. Business trip, that's work. Cross that out. D, move on. When I see omit, I automatically just check for that, okay, before I look at the others, because the others cause me to have to spend time thinking, where omit is just look and see if it's twice. Okay. Did you have a question? Number 8. All right, I know it's not that one. It's never going to be that one. C and D are close, and it's not going to be no change. It's way too long. Okay. They can be kept as happy. Nope. I don't even need to finish. Happy as a clam. That is way too wordy, isn't it? Okay. So be adequately nourished by. Choose it and move on. Okay. Now this one. I'm looking at this, and this is another reason why I look at the correct answer. Semicolon he, comma fanboy, period he. All of those are correctly punctuated. It has to be C, because you can't have an answer where 3 of them are correct, can you? And so it is C. When we look up, which of the following is not acceptable? So there's 3 correct answers, 1 wrong. Which one should we choose? We choose and this is what throws kids' brains. You want to choose the answer that is punctuated incorrectly, okay, which means C. And then the last one, I'm looking at the choices, omits there, so I'm going up. Calculate annual tables, yearly, same thing as annual, omit, and move on. Okay. These questions were actually, I think this one was 3 years ago. It might have been 4, 3 or 4 years ago. This was the actual passage on the English ACT. There were 3 omit questions. It was the correct answer every time, wasn't it? So keep in mind that if you look for omit first, check it out and go from there.